Wow. Yes, it's ugly. Never mind, there are cars that are pretty. Look at this one. This is the Revuelto. Oh, Revuelto. Yeah, if that's the correct way to pronounce it. So it's a hybrid, V12 NA hybrid. No turbocharged here, so the car sounds good. But today, anyway, before I went there, do you like the design of this? I think it looks fabulous. The Temerario. Oh no, sorry. It's called the Revuelto, and today is Temerario. Look at that. Crazy, right? Gorgeous. That's the exhaust mounted high up. Anyway, this is V12 NA because Lamborghini understands the customers. They want their cars to sound good. And today, Temerario is a turbocharged car, but I think it will sound good as well. Why? Because this guy here, even though it's turbocharged, it revs to 10,000 RPM. I've never seen a production car, or maybe I do not know that a production car, I've never heard of or do not know a production turbocharged car revs to 10,000 RPM, which is a higher rev than the Huracan, which is NA, that it replaces. So that is extremely interesting. And from a technological standpoint, I believe Lamborghini fully understands what their customer wants. All right? Hybrid, but NA. And the hybrid is not for fuel efficient. The hybrid is for performance. All right? And I think it looks smacking. It looks amazing. Aventador still looks amazing, but this is nice. All right? And those of you out there, we only live once. You should own a V12 one day. All right? Nice. Anyway, event's gonna start later. You can't hide who you are. Woohoo!
The new Lamborghini Temerario. And the new one.
Yep, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 V8 turbocharged, electrified. Look at that. The hybrid drivetrain, the hybrid motor, the turbocharged, the V-bangs. This is amazing. Yeah, 10,000 RPM. 10,000 RPM. This is crazy, man. I cannot imagine how a turbocharged car that goes 10,000 RPM will sound like, but it should be very, very interesting. Yeah, amazing. And this one drives the transmission. So, yeah, a pretty wide V-bang. And the turbochargers are huge. They are huge, man. It's on top. It's on top. Look at that. Huge. Nice, nice. This is nice. Alright, so let's go and see. That's the Urus. Where's my seat? Where's my guys? Look at that. Sonny. There we go, that's the car over there. There you go. The car's launched and it is surrounded by human beings. So let's catch a glimpse of the car in between the people that are surrounding it. So as you know, there's always two Lamborghini sports cars, right? So the one before this is the Huracan, and the one before the Huracan will be the Gallardo, and this one is the replacement for the Huracan Temerario. So this replaces the V10, right? So all this while they have the V10 and V12, and sorry, the Caesar doors are only for V12. For V10 will be the normal doors. Okay, so look at the front the front compartment. It's pretty spacious, and the hinge is a Caesar hinge that is here. I think what's the reason? I do not know why they didn't put a hinge here. Probably for packaging reasons, because that's where the suspension are. Let's have a closer look at the headlights. You see, a lot of Italian cars, right? They have the bumper and bonnet cut out that forms the silhouette of the headlight. So you see, from visually, it would be seen as though the headlights are long and sharp. But actually, as you got close, these are all air ducts. The air ducts that ducts air inside, and the headlight is only this portion. This is the only portion of the headlight. That's the projectors, all that, and you see the little Lamborghini wording in there, and all these Aero bits. You see that my palm can go in, so air actually flows out in here. So there's a lot of Aero. Basically, this whole opening of the headlight is cleverly disguised. Cleverly disguises this bumper that acts as a spoiler. This is actually a spoiler in a way, because it drives air in like that, and in here as well. And then even this one, see, this also pulls air in. This actually floats. A lot of details. From far, it looks sort of clinical because it's clean, and then you see the headlights are long, right? And then this little hexagonal shape out there. But when you got near, it actually floats. This thing actually sort of, look at that. Look at that, it floats above that. It's so cool. And then the radiators are behind, and then this bit, this is also another spoiler. Usually these are all stylistic stuff, right? And this is actually a spoiler. This also acts like a spoiler. This is so cool. And all this for Aero purposes. That's the radar stuff, all right? And it's so cool. It is really, really cool. That's the radiator. That's also the radar stuff. And look at that. That is so cool, man. Love it, love it. This bit here, that's the side indicators. And look at the carbon ceramics. Look at that. That is super duper cool. Bridgestone, interesting. I thought Lambos would be using Pirellis. They have the new Pirelli PZ5, which is really, really good. But nevertheless, and now you see how, you see how raked the A-pillar is. The rakes down here, shoots all the way down like that. The amazing part about this profile, you can see the A-pillar extends all the way down to the center. That's roughly where the suspension mount is. It's so cool. This is cool. Of course, that lip there is carbon. All right, doors are long. Doors are long. So, well, if you go to normal parking lot, it's gonna not that easy, you know, because this is a very long door, and it doesn't have the elder brother's Caesar doors that goes up, which eases ingress and egress and easy to go in and out. But this one fully open. Okay, that's the maximum angle. This is 90 degree. This is 80 degree. This is 70 degree. This is like 60 plus 70 degree. All right, and look how much room you need. So I would suggest every Temerario owner or Lamborghini owners. See, so guys, those who look at supercars taking up more space than they need, you have to understand that's how far the door opens up too. All right, and look. Okay, that would be the rear hatch, and then there's no hidden spoilers that rises up. There's no active spoiler. So this whole piece is static. There's a little ducktail over there, and of course everybody has to be careful because that's where the exhaust is. All right, and look at how the rear radiators. Look at that. And the legs are hexagonal as well. There's a lot of Aero features that drives air out. There's a giant diffuser down here. You can see how big the diffusers are. It's giant. And then from the rear, if you're following this car, this will be a very dramatic sight. Usually bumpers cover all the way here, but this is like those, look at this cutout. That is crazy. And that's where they place the ultrasonic sensors, the parking sensors. This is very unique, right? So usually you see bumpers go like that, and then you have the diffusers over here. This is totally open up to clear off, to drive air out. It's crazy. Very, very cool features. This one also, look at that, pulls air out. And a lot of little design features are hidden. The Aero features are all hidden in this car. Very, very cool. All right, of course, that's the engine there, the V8, and then of course they will put the firing order over there. 1, 5, 3, 7, 4, 8, 2, 6. That's the firing order if there's something you need to know. And yeah, man, very cool. V8 bi-turbo, combined system output, 920 horsepower, and fast, very fast. Because the Rialto has went 1,000, so this one. So from afar here, of course, everybody takes turns to go inside. But you see a floating screen in the middle, full touchscreen. The graphics almost look video game-like. Right, and then on the right side for passenger, you have now it's like a trend thing. Everybody will have a little screen for the passenger, you know, just so they feel involved. And then that's the standing screen over there. Yep. The pedals and the usual Lamborghini stuffs are there. You know, the jet fighter pilot switch to launch missiles. That little thing is there as well. And the crazy parking brake release. They're all there. The usual Lamborghini stuff. So that's the dual oval exhaust over there. You see the little valves over there? Yep, the valves are over there as well. And then, yeah, there we go. And then the diffusers down there. Whoa! A lot of stuff going on there. Let's have a look. That's where it pulls air from the middle. Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. I'm just surprised it doesn't come with a more aggressive spoiler, but of course that is reserved for their other versions, because now Lamborghini also plays the Porsche game, coming out with different variations, you know, STOs or LP this, LP that, sorry. So let you have a little look at the doors. This is the handle, the electronic release, I believe. That's the window switches. And oh, interesting, the side mirror adjust comes before the window switches. And that's the door lock and unlock button. So now you know how to, you know, do what you need to do in the Lamborghini. Sorry. So, yep. The aircon vents, the whole structure of the dashboard is, you know, littered with little carbon fiber bits that are finished really, really well. If you look into the detail, the aircon vents and sorry, it's the pedals and the housing for the LCD. It's all in really, really nicely finished carbon fiber. Yeah, so Yep, two-seater. There are some space at the back so you can put your luggages when you go for a road trip, your little backpacks and all that. And yep, that's the Temerario. And pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm sure a lot of people have already booked the car. A lot of you can't wait to receive your car. Can't wait to try what it feels like in a V8 bi-turbo, hybridized, electrified, let's put it that way. Now, some of you will be thinking, oh my god, there are hybrids now, it's worrying. Let me tell you this, your current Huracan has an engine, you know, your current Huracan has an engine that spins the alternator, and the alternator charges the battery, and the battery in turn fire up your engine. So in a way, every car out there is in a way electrified and hybridized. Don't you think so? This is just another battery that fills in. Actually, for turbocharged cars, it's important to have electrified drivetrain or hybridized drivetrain because it fills in all the little gaps before the turbos spool. Of course, different manufacturers have different solutions. We see a new solution in the new Porsche 992.2 GTS. That one has a electrified turbocharger. So that one spins the turbo for the car. While everyone will have their own solution, but this will be the future. You can't run away from this. You cannot run away from this execution of filling in every bit of gaps in power output. Yeah, so I think what Lamborghini is doing is they're on the right path, you know, twin turbocharge, but with hybrid, and then 10,000 RPM. That is what attracts people. So let me know what you think. You like the styling? I like the styling. The funny thing with all these Italian cars is that the further you walk away, the simpler they seem, until you come nearer, you see all the little details that goes into the car. Is like what the Italians always do. The Italians know their stuff when it comes to this kind of stuff. Alright, so yep, that's the Lamborghini Temerario. Congratulations for those who have bought it. And yep, cheers.